Hey everyone, I'm going to do a long-awaited video on how to configure a Microsoft Kinect 2 with a virtual pinball cabinet to work to get BAM tracking working in Virtual Pinball X. So just a quick view, this is my cabinet. It's a cabinet that I got up and running with Baller Installer. The LEDs look a lot better in person. I don't know why, I guess the frame rate of the video is making them look funny. But I got a back box and I got my Kinect 2 at the top of the back box, mounted completely down as much as it can be so it can get most of the play field in the video. So let me show you how you actually need to walk through and do this, configure this. A couple things you need. You need to have a complete Baller Installer upgrade install done. That includes Future Pinball and VPX. You need to have a Kinect, and you also need the latest ball installer with 64-bit and the GL working. And you need a PC with USB 3.0. Okay, once you do that, then you need to download, and I'll put the links below, you need to download the Windows Kinect runtime. You need to download the Kinect for Windows SDK, and then you have to install the Kinect verification Verifier. Those are just Windows programs, super easy. Install it, restart your computer, then do the next thing. Install it, restart your computer, install it, restart your computer, and then you should be pretty much ready to go. Then you mount your Kinect. Then be really careful the order you connect your Kinect. So you want to connect your power supply to your adapter. Then you want to connect USB to your PC. And then finally, then you connect to your power supply, and then it'll all, and then your Kinect should be ready to go. Then what you need to do, you can check to make sure everything's installed correctly. I can put the instructions more detailed, but the first thing you need to do is go into Future Pinball and check your install. So I'm gonna go into my PC, go into vPinball, Future Pinball. Now, the trick is, let me go around. When you're setting up Future Pinball for BAM, you need to go into this BAM folder, not the regular Future Pinball loader. You need to go into BAM. And then you're going to go into this program called fploader.exe. Now, regardless if you're going to play Future Pinball, actually don't play Future Pinball at all, but you have to go through this Future Pinball step in order to get it to work in VPX. So I'm going to click on this fploader. Okay, now you can see it running on top of my back box. Then you need to open a table, and open the only table that came with Ball Installer called RetroFlare. Then get RetroFlare up and running. Then you need to play the table. Everything play table right here. So you can see it coming up and running. See the table's up and running. You're gonna press escape, or Q actually. Now, there's a couple different plugins you can kind of scroll through. So you can see plugin selected. You're gonna click, mine came up automatically, but you're gonna click left and right, or right until you see the plugin Kinect 2 actually working. Then you're gonna scroll down with your arrow key to calibrate. Now, I'm not gonna do it because I've already done the calibration. But what this does is it creates a default file for BAM to work that both Future Pinball and VPX use. So once you do that, it's going to make sure that the Kinect can see enough of the table and enough of your head to create a default configuration. Once you do the default configuration, you never need to do it again. And if you do it again, it'll change all your values and you'll have to upgrade all your table views in VPX. So once you do it, you got it. And I'll be honest, it took me probably an hour to get it to calibrate correctly. you're gonna see it create some pattern, then it's gonna say either pattern calibration fail or calibration successful. If it does calibration successful, that's it, just stop. Don't move your Kinect again, you'll never have to do it again. If it fails, you have to keep on moving your Kinect, so it can see enough of the table, move your head, do whatever it takes to get it to calibrate successfully. Again, I need to see enough of the playfield and see enough of your head at the same time to calibrate it. Once it's done, the default configuration is done, and that's it. You never have to come to Future Pinball ever again if you use VPX. So I'm gonna escape and cancel because I don't want to create another file. Then I am going to go into VPX. I'll turn my computer right here. I'm gonna go to VPX. Cancel this out. Then I'm gonna go to Preferences. I'm gonna go to Video and Graphics Options. Now, under Video and Graphics Options in the GL version of VPX, under Cabinet Layout, there's a checkbox that says BAM Head Tracking. Make sure this is checked. Now, warning, you can't leave it checked if you just want to use it in regular cabinet mode. You're gonna have to figure out a special script to change the configuration for if you want to use the Kinect or not use the Kinect. For the demonstration purposes, I'm checking it, but if I want to play my regular cabinet, I'll have to check it off. So now it's checked because I want to use the Kinect. Okay, so now I'm good here. Then I'm going to close out of VPX. I'm going to go back into the Future Pinball BAM directory and click on this exe called BAM Tracker exe. Then I'm going to click on this. I'm going to run it. Something's going to happen. I get a little alert here that says, hello, found 7 tracking points and the Kinect 2 is on. So I know I'm in good shape and ready to go. So then, sorry, let's use my computer view again. So then, I am going to close out of this, and open up VPX again, and now I'm going to play a table. So now I'm going to try 2 tables just so you can see the way they work and how, it's not exactly optimized for all of the tables, but it works pretty well for most of the tables. First table I'm going to play is whitewater. So here, press play. Okay, now notice that if I move forward my head a little far away from the table, the image shifts slightly. If I leave my head forward, see how the playfield at the top is moving away a little bit? That's how it's working. So it's not supposed to move that much, but it kind of does. And so you can see as I move closer, certain things move a little bit. That's what creates the 3D effect. So as I move back away from the table, I can see more of the scoop ramps, less of those things. I can see less of the drop targets or more as I move my head to the right. Oop, I got a little jerk. It doesn't happen too often, but I think it just happens every now and then. But generally, I've found that you can kind of play it. It works pretty well. So I'm gonna press start here and play. So it works, no problem, no changes in lag or anything like that. Sorry, I tried to play with one hand, but I'm gonna click off of whitewater. What's going on? Quit, yep, quit. I'm gonna quit again. So now, I'll go back here, I'll try a different table. I will try Monster Bash, see how that works. But pretty much all the tables kind of work. Okay, Monster Bash. So you can see, again, as I move, look at Frankenstein's feet. You can see the scoop kind of appears or doesn't appear as I get closer to it. As I get farther away, the scoop appears more. It moves to the left and right, it moves a little bit. Move left to right, moves a little bit more. It works pretty well. Again, there's no change in lag. But watch what happens when I move away from the table. The Kinect can't see me, and notice how the cards disappeared. But in theory, that's the way it should look, right? When you're farther away from the table, you can't see the cards, right? But if you get closer, the cards appear again. So it works really well. There's been a lot of horror stories about how this works, but I didn't have a ton of problems, and it looks pretty good. Last thing I will show you guys is, so your actual individual table configurations are highly dependent on the default configuration that a Future Pinball makes when you configure it. But pretty much once I had my original Future Pinball configuration done, I went into the head tracking menu. So I'm going to go that here so you can see I'm in this special head tracking menu. I'll go click, press quit, now address head tracking. You can see my table settings. So I'm using a translation of 1, 40, 0, 435, 1.1, and 9. Those get you close, depending on how your initial configuration for your band was done. Once I set that, I use that pretty much as the default for all my tables, and pretty much, unless you get a crazy dimension table, it kind of works for all of them. So that's kind of it. So now, if I were to go into Pinup Popper, navigate my game, normally they'd load. Every game I'd load would be in BAM head tracking mode until I click off BAM head tracking in VPX. So I can decide to play with head tracking, or I can decide not to. It all kind of works the same. Generally, I play the older games with head tracking. The newer games, I think the images are a little bit too much, and I think that it moves a little bit too much, so I don't love it with head tracking, but it works really well. Again, I bought this Kinect for, I don't know, I think I bought the USB connection and the Kinect for $40, and it worked really well. So hopefully that helped you guys. If you guys are thinking about building a Kinect or onto your VPX table, I'll put the instructions in the comments, and yeah, have fun.